Welcome. This is a separate video from, it's actually an offshoot from my crown molding video. But as part of renovating the room I'm renovating, I'm going to put a ceiling medallion up. And this is a ceiling medallion. It's 24 inches across. And I bought it online. I'll include the link. I don't remember who I bought it from, but there's several outfits. It's made of polyurethane foam. As you can see, it's relatively lightweight, but not as light as open cell phone. What I'm going to do is try to install it. Myself not being experienced, what I did here was I bought this thing and there was an option to put a hole in it, and I checked it off yes, and I probably shouldn't have done that because now it's more difficult to center it in the fixture. Hold on a second, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here's the fixture. We can get a zoom in. You can see the, I don't know what they call that, the rod, whatever you want to call it. That's what holds the light fixture itself. The fixture is over here on the floor. It's actually a chandelier fixture. I took all the shiny parts off to clean them. There's the escutcheon. And I've been working on this room, I don't know, now for about a month, I guess. I was interrupted by Hurricane Irma here in Florida, and fortunately no damage here, but it took about a week and a half away from me. You can see I'm painting, and I'm almost finished with that. I don't have the crown molding up yet. But before I do any of that, I thought I'd get this up on the ceiling. And I not only have a ceiling medallion, but I also have an outer ring. And I'll show you how I did that. But for right now, I'm trying to recover from the snafu of having ordered this with a hole in the middle of it, because there's no easy way to center it. You don't want to do it by eye, trust me, because the escutcheon will end up off center. I saw one other guy's video, and as a matter of fact, it was Ron Hazeltine, or Hazelton. You might recognize the name. I watched his video, and I noticed in the very end of the video, when he was finishing up, his escutcheon was off center. So anyway, what I did was I made a spacer here that I'll probably hot glue into this thing. Thusly, falls right through right now, but that'll give me the center that I need when I'm positioning this thing up on the ceiling. I'm hoping I don't have to use any screws or nails to hold this thing up, but probably am, practically speaking. Probably weighs about 4 or 5 pounds, so the weight will dictate what we have to do, but this is going to give me the center. And once I get this up on the ceiling, I'll determine what I got to do to attach it. Pretty much flat on the outer edges, as you can see here. The outer edges are the only ones that come in contact with the ceiling. The inside and the very inside, that diameter there, they don't come into contact with the ceiling at all. So if I did attach it to the ceiling with screws or nails or something, it would have to be nailed in the outer rim here. I did paint this thing already You know, obviously I don't want to be painting it by hand when it's up on the ceiling. When I spray coated my wainscoting in here, I made sure, well, you can see the outlines on the floor there, where I sprayed the outer ring and I sprayed the ceiling medallion right there. There's the outer ring profile and there's the ceiling medallion. It's getting a little dark in here right now because, of course, I turned the power off, and that's the very first thing you should do when you're doing this. And if you buy a ceiling medallion like that, by the way, you're probably going to have to buy whatever that gizmacho is. I don't know what they call it. Hang on a second. It won't. Your original probably won't be long enough. This was my original. I don't know what it is. About 2 inches probably. That's the original that was in there. I had to go run off to Lowe's. And of course, they only had a 2-pack, so I had to buy 2 of these things. They didn't have a brass colored one, so I had to settle for what they had, but it's hollow. It's a 1/2 inch in diameter, this particular one, and I cut it to size. This is, you know, the remnants of the one that you see in the ceiling. So that'll give me enough length to remake the connections. And so I'll let this go for now, and I'll get set up over there with the centering. I have to, it's on my kitchen table here, I have to drill this out to a 1/2 inch, a little over a 1/2 inch center, so that when I put it up on the ceiling there, you know, this isn't really precision work, but I like to start out as close to center as I can, obviously. So I'll have to drill this out on my drill press to a 1/2 inch. I have some Forstner bits, and that should get me there. I'll probably use, I have some third hands. I think maybe you might have seen me use them in another video, maybe not. I don't know if you know what a third hand is, but it's an adjustable pole that fits from floor to ceiling, and it has a crank or a hand squeeze adjustment, ratcheting adjustment, so that you can clamp something to the ceiling. So I'll try to hold it. I'll, you know, put a rag on the pads, and I'll hold it up on the ceiling that way, and then I'll, you know, decide whether I'm gonna nail it or screw it. Now, one thing I am going to do is I'm going to put a color ring around this. There's an outer ring, I told you. There's a larger outer ring I haven't showed you yet, but I want the wall color over there to be on the ceiling where this thing is going to go. And to do that, it's not advisable, at least in my opinion, to mount this and mount the ring and then try to tape it off and mask it and all that. It's a whole hell of a lot easier to position this on the ceiling first, make a thin pencil mark around the perimeter of this, then go ahead and position the outer ring and do the same for the inside diameter of the outer ring with a pencil mark, so that you know where it's going to go on a ceiling. And then go ahead and take these, remove them because they're not attached permanently, remove the ring and this, excuse me, and then paint the color. Once the color is painted, then you can mount everything permanently. But that's the easiest way for the first time around. If you ever repaint the ceiling or repaint your walls and you want to change the color like that, you know, I just repainted those walls. If you ever do that, well, then you're going to have to mask it off and then paint it. But the cleanest, easiest way to paint it is not to have it mounted at all. Just draw a circle around it first, take it off the ceiling, draw a circle around, or the inside circle of the outer ring, and then you've got the outline that you need, and you're going to overpaint those two areas. And then once that's done, put it all back up on the ceiling, align it again, and you're in business. So I'm going to shut this off now. I'm going to get set up to do this. There you go. You know, installed. At least it's up on the ceiling, and hopefully it won't come crashing down. The plug is holding it. All I need to do now is get the ring up there, and to center the ring, I did this when it was out on a table, but I made these 4 pieces of foam. This is styrofoam, so that I could space it out correctly, and hopefully my third hands will hold the ring up so I can get a pencil mark around the inside diameter of it, and I can finish this up. Because the ceiling is, it's not a popcorn ceiling. I forget what they call it. It's something lace, Spanish lace, or Spanish lace I think is a sex drug, but whatever it is, it's not popcorn. It has texture, and it actually has more depth than a popcorn ceiling. You can see it. It's almost like stucco, but it's on the inside of the house. So there is a gap between that medallion and the ceiling. So I'm probably going to have to caulk it off, otherwise it won't look right. But we'll see. I really don't like attaching things permanently. You know, you never know down the line, you might want to remove that and you'll end up ripping half the ceiling off to get it off. So that's why I hesitate to glue anything up. But a bead of caulk around the outside corner is probably all I'm going to put up, and then the escutcheon from the light itself will hold it up on the ceiling. So let me go get the ring and see what I can do to get it up there. Okay, here's the outer ring, and by the way, it comes in 4 pieces, and you can see it's marked 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, so that you can assemble it. Personally, I think you would be nuts to try to do that up on the ceiling. What I did was I epoxied it before I painted it. I epoxied it, and it's all one piece now, so I only have to deal with one piece. And now I'm going to try to get it up on the ceiling with my spacers, and we'll see what happens. The spacers, I'll probably, I don't know, double-sided tape, or maybe just a daub of caulk will hold the spacers up there. I'm not sure. I wish I had another person here, but I don't. So I'm a one-man team here. So whatever I do, I got to be able to do it myself. All right, I got to shut it down. I can't film and fumble at the same time. Okay, I'm going to try double-sided carpet tape. I don't know if you can see that on there, but that's what I got. Hopefully, I'm not too worried about this. I know it'll stick up there, but hopefully I won't tear up the ceiling when it comes time to take them off. I'm not going to really press them hard up there. I'm just going to tap on them a little bit like this to get them to stay up there. All I really need to do is draw a circle for that outline. And I don't want to destroy these either because I have to reuse them again. So, all right, wish me luck. That's what we do with the foam. Of course, I got two of them off center here, but I don't think that's going to matter. Now, I need to get this thing up there and somehow, by myself, work these guys into place so that I can hold it up there and draw the circle around it. Wish me luck. All right, well, I wish I could say that that was easy peasy by myself, but it wasn't. But I managed to get it done. You can see with the third hands here, one of them's at an angle here, but it's holding. And all of this just to draw a circle. Now, I already drew a circle around the medallion. I got to draw a circle around the inside of the ring, and I might just in case I lose my alignment with those foam pieces, I might draw a circle around the outer diameter too, because I have to caulk it, and the caulk will cover any pencil marks. All right, sorry I gotta keep breaking this video up like this, but you know, only got two hands. Okay, so as you can see, I marked the outer ring and the medallion placement, and I've already pre-painted the area. So I'm just waiting for the paint to dry, and then I'm gonna remount the medallion and then the ring over here. And I still haven't made up my mind how I'm going to do that. Screws or glue or just maybe some caulking. So this is what I got. I used a bead of caulk around the outer perimeter of that, and the escutcheon for the light will hold it up, you know, even after the caulk dries. So these, first time I used these things in 10 years, they come in pretty handy for stuff like this, the third hand. That's it for now. I just got to put the ring up after this sets up. Okay, so all done. That's what it looks like. And by the way, the caulking did not work. And I tried some adhesive too, but I didn't feel comfortable with it. So what I ended up doing with my nail gun over there is I shot some, well, the 2-inch brads around the perimeter of both of them, and that's what's holding them up. The center medallion actually gets held up by the that escutcheon up there if it's installed right, but it's got about 8 screws around the perimeter, and the outer ring's probably got about 10, 12, something like that. This is a chandelier I've had for a while. Okay, well, that's the end of this video. I don't think there's anything else to discuss.